I know I'm better off without you and all this fake love, fake love. I don't need this fake love.
Freak, are you kidding me?
You the type to leave me drowning when I'm down. I even had your back, yeah, when you was out. I was sticking by your side when nobody was around. I know I'm better off without you and all this fake love, fake love. I don't need this fake love.
Freak, are you kidding me?
You the type to leave me drowning when I'm down. I even had your back, yeah, when you was out. I was sticking by your side when nobody was around. I know I'm better off without you and all this fake love, fake love. I don't need this fake love.
Freak, are you kidding me?
Hello, everybody in TV land. Welcome back to The Void. I'm your boy G. I got my boy Joe here today. How you doing, Joe?
What up, though?
How you feeling today, man?
A little sluggish today, but we're going to get it rolling, though.
Okay. And we also got one of our guests in the house. What's your name again? I forgot.
You
I'm just
forgot my
playing. We got
name?
Nina here. How you doing today, Nina?
I'm doing great, I think.
What you mean you think?
I don't know, boy. Better steer clear. And
So
I'm on
how-
the right dominant side, too. Watch it.
Or you maybe you sit in the middle of the table then. That way it seems like,
No.
on some what's your name type. Okay, there it is. I got it pulled up. Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
So how you been, Nina?
I'm great. I don't have any choice but to be doing great.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you complain about it, who gonna listen to you?
Not a soul.
Well, God will listen, and He'll send away, right?
At some point.
So anyway, today's title of the show is the L word. I know some people probably thinking lesbians, or the show L word with lesbians on it. We like lesbians. I've been a lesbian for 46 years. Joe been a lesbian for 30 years.
Right,
We're gonna continue
right,
keep the trend going. So is the owner Justin. He been a lesbian for a long time. Nina's not
That's
a lesbian.
great.
So
No,
this
I'm
gonna be a
not.
different. It's not L word like you think. It's something different. So with that being said, gonna get it started. When getting in a committed relationship, which one do you prefer, love or loyalty? I'll go first with that one.
Okay.
Considering what I've been through in life, I would take loyalty over love. Because love gets you hurt. Love gets you killed. Kind of like 50 Cent said in Get Rich Without Trying. Loyalty is something that you really gotta have with you as a person. Love is like you can love a dog. You can love your cell phone. You can love chillins. You can love iPhones or something, but that it could go away. But loyalty, that's something that's embedded to you. Like, you got to be born in that. You don't get sworn in like that. That's something you got to be born with. And loyalty comes from mainly from people who probably been hurt a lot. I don't know too many people who ain't been hurt a lot that's really loyal. Now, I could be wrong. That's just me, though. But being loyal to something like a person go to their favorite barber all the time. or somebody who like Joe, he a Cowboy fan, which I do not know why.
Ooh-wee.
But he been a Cowboy fan for years now. Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 25 years,
Whole
and Joe is
thing.
27 years, right, Joe?
Yeah, 27.
27, and he's 30. So let that sizzle your spirit right there. That's some weird shit within itself. But he's loyal to them. This man has bet on them. Every year I've been knowing this dude. He'll say they
Right.
making it. They
Yeah.
got it this year, G. They going,
Oh,
and we had
Lord.
bet money, all type of shit, push-ups, you name it. We didn't
Shout
bet
out to
it.
the Cowboys.
No.
Shout out to the Cowboys.
Ain't looking, I ain't had that little buzzer thing going.
Right.
man.
Wait.
So,
No, I don't have the.
so
budget
yeah, I
either.
look at loyalty as one of those things that now this is just Greg speaking. I can't speak for everybody. I believe loyalty is more than men than it is women, because women are loyal to their feelings, and their feelings can change just like the weather. Or like yesterday it was warm, then it got really cool at night. That's kind of how women are. But dudes, we're loyal to our barbers. We loyal to a woman who we feel is the one. We loyal to our kids. You know, just the good. I can't speak for every
I
man,
just
but
want to say for the record, this man tells me I'm long-winded.
she loyal to talking too much. So, with that being said, I would take loyalty over love any day, because love just people been using that word since R&B music. So I'm gonna hand over to you, Joe. You tell me what loyal. Which
Yes,
one would you
indeed,
pick?
sir. It's bang bang Niners gang all day long.
right. I mean, I'm pretty much feeling the same like you. I prefer loyalty over love, and the reason why I prefer loyalty over love is I feel like love is a kind of more of an illusion. That's why you can have multiple people you love for. It's a hybrid between a strong care factor and a form of lust.
That's true.
And when I feel like when you loyal to somebody, it's something within yourself to always be there for somebody, to always put them before you. A person that's loyal to you will die for you. Somebody who love you will not die for you.
Yeah, it gotta be unconditional.
It has to be
Yeah.
unconditional, and usually that type of love is for your children or your parents. That's why people could be loyal to their parents and their kids, and their parents could be horrible person, or the kids can be Satan, all that type of stuff, and they will always ride and die for their kids because of the sense of the love and loyalty they have for their kids.
That's true.
But a person could tell you they love you all the time, they will always be here for you, and soon stuff hit the fan. And ready to go. And so that's why I feel like loyalty is something better. And I know some people are going to say, well, without love, you can't have loyalty. I beg to differ, though. Some people could be loyal to you
I'll
and
be
not
trying
love
to make
you.
my argument before I even have a chance to
I'm not saying towards you, but I'm just saying I know people out there in the world, even in our community, they have all commented and they all have felt like you can't have one without the other. But I beg to differ, because I feel like you can be loyal to somebody and still not actually love them. And maybe some people feel like you have to have both, but to me, loyalty is more higher than love. But what about you, Nino? How you feel about it, though?
So, in real love, because there are 5 different types of love, but in real love, loyalty is a part of that.
Okay.
However, you guys are right. People say they love people. I think you must not understand the concept of love if you can say you love someone and then go out and do whatever against them to hurt them. Because when you love people, you try your best not to hurt them. And so, but I think I would value loyalty over love, because like I said, anybody, like you guys already said, anybody can tell you whatever, and at the end of the day, they still do things to hurt you, or they still do things that are against the relationship or that harm the relationship.
You're right.
So, right, that's what I said too, brother. My good friend, shout out to Carlos. He says you can't have loyalty without love. I said that in the
I
group.
disagree with that.
So
Strongly, I disagree with that.
Right.
yeah,
I can
if
understand
you're
where you
not,
come from.
if you don't really love the person, then loyalty doesn't matter.
I can understand where you come from when you say that, though.
But if you move one off the table, and somebody said, well, just what you gotta do, you either gonna have to love me or be loyal to me. What you think people gonna pick?
And that's the idea of the question. It's like, which one would you rather have? It's not like, we understand that both has to be some form intertwined with each other. But when you think about it too, it's times where people will say that you don't love me because you cheated on me.
That's
But
women's
no,
stupid
I'm
talk,
just
though.
some men say it too.
Men have said it too.
So you can
Please
say it on both
believe.
sides. It's not really a gender thing, but you do hear more common in women who say that. But when you think about it, how do I not love you? I'm just being selfish. You know, I can put myself first. Just like when a person leave a relationship, it's not that they don't love you no more. They have to put their self first. Something is lacking within the relationship.
They don't love you no more.
No.
So you believe
Yeah.
that if a person leave a relationship, hold on, why they leave a relationship? That you got to put more context with it.
Well, so a
Yeah.
person can leave a relationship for a few reasons, man. They can relationship because they need to self growth. They don't have nothing to do with you. That's self individual. That has nothing to do with the
That
love.
mean they
for
don't
you.
love you then.
No, it don't. No, it
So
doesn't.
you tell me a person got with you who hasn't got all their ducks in a row,
Right.
and then got 3 years in, and they say, you know what, I need to work on myself. They loved you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No,
sometimes
I
sometimes you have
agree.
to. Sometimes
I'm
you have
sorry.
to
I
put
agree
yourself.
with Greg.
Sometimes you
But
have to put your first.
part
yourself
of being
first.
part. Sorry.
No, you good.
I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Sometimes a person, you have to understand the first person you have to love it before anything. You have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself first, you can't love anybody.
True.
And so a lot
So I
of
mean, they didn't love you then.
No, what I'm saying, a lot of people, they use a form of love like that. Like they can still love somebody, and you can lose yourself for loving another person. You
True.
will start neglecting yourself. That has nothing to do with that you don't love that person no more.
I don't know, Joe.
No. If you
don't
neglect
know.
yourself, if you neglect your needs, your wants, your ambition, that does not mean you does not love that person no more, though. That does not mean that. That means that you have to make a boss decision. That's just like in the job.
That's codependent love. That's what that is.
Yeah, but that's still a form of love, is it not?
I don't think so.
But you just said, Cole, you used the word love, right? Is it a
Well, I was
Yeah.
using it in the context of your statement because
Yeah.
you use the word selfish.
Yeah.
To me, a selfish person can never love. If
Yeah,
you're
that's
selfish, you
true.
don't love the person.
That's true.
Well, if you cheating, that's a form of selfishness. They don't have nothing
Then
to
you
do
don't
with
love.
it.
Then you
Not
don't
really.
love the
That is a
person.
form of
Cheating
selfishness.
You're seeking out your
is
needs.
a loyal thing. You loyal to cheating. So
That's if you believe in cheating.
well, I mean, you know.
That's if you don't
Yeah.
believe if you just did something in that moment and it was just an impulse decision. That don't mean that you don't love that person. That mean that you just had a selfish, weakest moments.
well, hold on now,
Oh,
Joe.
okay.
You
So
kinda
we gonna
confused
use.
me now.
So
Yeah,
we
you
gonna
kinda
use that
confused
as
me.
an excuse that
I
you.
never I never said it was
Well,
excuse.
no,
I just
you're
said
just
selfish.
supposed to do it.
Yeah, I
Cheating
just
you're
said
supposed
selfish.
to do. But what I'm saying is that, Joe,
Yeah.
if you said somebody was with you for 3 years
Yeah.
and they decide that, you know, well, this ain't working for me. The relationship going good.
Yeah.
Say y'all just came back from Cancun.
Yeah.
And today's Sunday, y'all got back today. Tomorrow, she texts say I can't do this no more. You think everything cool. You saying they loved you?
I would need to know more context, but I don't. I
No, I
wouldn't say
said
they
3
didn't know for-
years and all, boom.
I
Could
wouldn't say
happen
that.
all the time.
I wouldn't say that they wouldn't love me though. But in that moment, you
What?
would. In that moment, you could feel that way because you don't know the other person's side. Just because you feel a certain kind of way does not mean it's not true. Just like I said before about the cheating thing, we said a couple episodes ago. A person would say you're not loyal because you cheated on me. That might not be true. That's how they feel towards the situation. The same how you just made that argument. That's how you feel towards the situation. But at the end of the day, you don't know what that person actually
Well,
truly
time
feels.
out then. So it's the act then, because they say if you cheat, you're not loyal. Ain't that what women say? Like, you're
Men
not
say
loyal.
it too.
But
A
ain't that
man
what
just
women
said
say
it.
that
A
you're
man
not
just
a
said it
loyal-
on my page. He said you can't have loyalty without love. That's what I said.
But I'm
No, he
saying-
said
but-
the cheating
I'm saying,
part.
but I'm saying, but when women, when a man get caught cheating, first thing you say, you're a dog.
Why
you're
does
not
it have
loyal
to be a
me.
man, a woman thing? When a woman gets caught cheating, she a bee, she a hoe, she a this, she a that, she a that.
Oh no, well that's what she is before we can get a number. But what I'm saying is
Oh,
that
Jesus.
usually women say a dude's not loyal if he cheat though. But it's the act of you cheat make them feel that way is what you saying, right?
Yeah.
But the act of
You
somebody
loyal to
leaving
yourself
you and
is what
everything
you are.
cool, that mean they don't love you. Because if
No,
somebody
that's
love
how
you, now hold
you-
on. If somebody love you now,
Right.
Joe, if
Yeah.
somebody love you, I mean genuinely love you, and what she using her lives with the people they saying that is love and loyalty there, they wouldn't do you like that.
Well,
then.
that's how everybody. That's different people analogy of it. To me, a person can still leave a situation. That mean they're not loyal to you. They're not loyal to Stan. They putting themselves first because, like I told you before, loyalty to me is a higher version of love in my eyes. You can be loyal to somebody and will always be there for them no matter what. You can love a person in that moment and fall out of love with a person.
Then that's
Those
not
are the-
real love, though.
we never said if it's real or not, but that's what people say to them. It's their form of love. Even
Okay.
if we don't agree with that,
Okay.
that's that person's form of love. And who is us to tell a person what is real or not? Because at the end of the day, that's their version.
Well, hold on now, but
Yeah.
they brought you into their circle though. See, that's one thing I always tell people. Women have dated people I know. When you bring somebody into your circle, And that means you have to have their back now.
Yeah.
That means they're trusting you with everything because
Right.
you're having raw sex. Y'all going on dates, all type of shit. Y'all supposed to be dating for a purpose.
Right.
And then boom, they
Morning,
hit you with a Dear John letter like, hey, let's just be cool.
Right.
But if they would just kept you at a distance, like we just fuck around, that's it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having this loyalty, love conversation. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So it's like that's why I kind of got to push back on that. That if a motherfucker leave you, everything cool, and they got to work on themselves, you supposed to do that before you met me.
Right.
So when you got me, I met the representative. You have a spreadsheet that looked really good. I
Right.
took the bait, and I heard that's not love then, because you're setting people up. Because when a nigga lie and say I ain't got no hoes, and he got hoes, my bad, he got chicks, whatever. Then what? You see what I'm saying? You
Right.
don't love me. Why you do me like that?
Right.
So it's like I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of like, well, hold on now.
Right.
Yep.
It's
There are
one thing.
caveats
It's
to
one thing
that.
to leave somebody for cheating. Nothing to leave somebody because you need to work on yourself.
Yeah.
What the hell that mean? But that to me, that's way worse than getting cheated on. Cause in your mind, like I say, y'all just
Right.
came back from a great vacation,
Yeah.
and now y'all ain't together this week no more.
Right. So let me ask you a question.
So-
I'll let you go real quick. What you gonna say?
I just have a couple of viewer comments that I wanted to
Yep.
comment on. My friend Carlos said that the fact that you love the Cowboys creates the loyalty to them. Cause they ain't one brother in 27 years, and you 30, and you still.
That's just wild. That's some crazy
Cowboys.
shit
Yeah.
for you, boy.
Yeah.
You
At
were
least my-
3, dog.
So
Last
there's
time
that.
they won.
There's that. I think that's absolutely
That's
true.
true.
That the love you have for something or someone cultivates the loyalty.
I can agree with that.
You're more loyal to it if you love it,
Yeah.
or that you should. I hate using the word should, but idealistically, if you love something a whole lot, you're loyal to it.
I can agree
I'm
with
loyal
that.
to my kids until I die, but I would
understand.
give them my life because that's how I am with my boys.
Yeah.
Period. And my grandsons too. So I'm loyal to them, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to forsake them because I love them that much. So
Right.
that's a great point.
That is a good analogy.
The other one is good morning, pudding pie. My girl Pudding. She said.
morning, Pudding Pie.
She said, yeah, her.
Is she thick? Like pudding or like can't be
Yeah,
skinny
she's
and
thick.
ain't pudding
She's
pie.
thick and beautiful.
Okay, can't be called pudding pie if you skinny.
Not well. I call her Pudding Pie.
be
Her
more
name
like
is
a-
Pudding. Her nickname is Pudding.
Oh, okay.
She said that men can't handle what they give out when they
oh
cheat.
There
Lord.
we go.
It's always one.
Stop
Where the gong thing? Wong, wong, wong. Stop it, man.
I understand.
She was doing cool.
She's right.
I
Okay,
understand.
pudding.
I definitely understand. The pushback to what Greg was saying earlier, though.
I'm not.
Let
putting
me
on
ask
a
you this
chicken
question:
drumhead.
a person could leave us. A lot of people get with people and they don't know their expectations. That's why I always use that word. Right?
Well.
Your expectation is your expectation. A person would drop their expectation for potential, and they be like, "Oh, well, he might got X. They might want X, Y, Z, but they like, oh, he got X, and he possibly working on the Y, Z. I can deal with that. And if that's not your actual expectations, then you can't like." You can't be mad when a person does not live up to your expectations. So what end up happening, a person comes to a realization with themselves because sometimes they confuse lust and love together. And then like that's kind of like what you saying. Then they leave and then you like, okay, then how could you ever love me? They probably did love the ideal of you, or even being with you, or even seeing the potential of you, or even like times they spent with you, but they wasn't truly in love with you. And I think it's a difference between having love for somebody and being in love with people. And I think
Yes.
when we use the word love, we instantly think of being in love with somebody, and those are two different things. And so I think a lot of people you're gonna come across, they're gonna love you, like being like have love for you.
They in love
Yeah.
with the idea of you.
You know, fantasizing of you, and that's all. That's why I say it's a form of lust and a strong care factor to me when it comes to love. Loyalty is the form of being in love with you. It's times where people get the last of something. They will put you first. They would look like a bum, as long as you look like a star. That's why I use kids for example, or they'll take a back seat while you driving the bus. And so when you look at those type of things, or they even get their life up for you, it's some people right now will put you first over their own parents and on their own kids. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. But
It
that's
is the right thing to do if that's your spouse.
I can understand, but to some people they will argue against that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's why I say
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's people point of view of whatever love and loyalty is, and that's the why when you say when a person leave, they don't love me and all that. Person saying, hey, maybe they know that they are maybe being a cancer to the relationship, and out of love, they feel like, hey, you're at a place in life where you deserve better. Maybe I
That's
need to
bullshit.
step back. Even though it's BS,
That's
but it's true.
bullshit
It's
right
true
there,
to it,
though.
though, bro.
I had to put it
It's
back
true
on
to
that.
that. People say it all the
I
time.
know.
It's
I
what
did.
this
Hey,
is.
I've been in situations
Yeah.
like that, with family that told me
Men
that
do it
they
all
need
the
me to move
time.
out
It's
because I
not
know
you,
you can
baby.
do it better.
It's me.
Right.
Oh, God.
When it come to women, since we doing that man woman thing right now for old pudding pop over here,
Whatever.
women don't like good men, and it's been proven over years. So they loyal to foolishness.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. If they loyalty saying I need a man that's tall, I'm loyal to I need a man with money. They loyal to I need a faithful man. They loyal to I don't want no fat dude. I'm loyal to I don't want no ugly man. So that means who's to say the fat dude not a good man? Who said broke man not a good man? Who said man with no money not a good man? Let's go through the list. So that means that in all retrospect, they are the problem relationship than what you're saying then. It goes back to what you're saying, because if you're going to leave, the expectation is that you could never reach it, because in your subconscious mind, you don't like good man anyway.
Right.
So no matter what you did, you not going to live up to that stigma any motherfucking way, because it's like, if you with someone who think only good men got money, you know what's going to happen.
Huh.
Right.
Good luck with that.
It's proven.
Yeah.
It's proven, because when dudes do get money, and then he lose it,
Right.
she back on the market. Like how Delicious did old boy from the
Flavor.
no, he did not Flavor. She got with the dude that got beat on in New York. That
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name,
the
though.
five cats got jumped, whatever.
Yeah.
He got 12 mil from it.
Yeah.
They went on the reality show, got a
Yeah.
little bit more bread. He, of course, like most dudes, spent all the bread up. She gone.
Of course.
And she's swerving down there one about the money.
It's always about the money.
So that's
You
that's
knew
what
that
I'm-
when she got on there with Flavor Flav. For
Well,
real.
but
Who
that's
wants
it.
somebody?
But look how he looked though. Look
Never
how he
mind.
looked though. He never had a chick like Delicious, so of course he gonna do it. But I'm just saying though, when you come in that mentality that you saying you love somebody, you love because of yourself. You didn't love them to begin with.
Right.
So I get what you're saying. So I had to disagree on that one.
Yeah, that's what
We
I'm saying.
agree,
It's-
disagree.
Oh,
I
wow,
disagree
that's
on
your
that
cousin?
one.
It's just
Panda?
different people's point of view.
Wow,
when it comes
that's
to
my
that
girl.
Stuff. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Or anybody's point of view is correct or viewing. People will argue to my defense on how I believe. People will argue to your defense on how y'all believe about it, because it's just wherever your version of love and loyalty is. Not saying nobody's right or wrong. It's just you can misinterpret or you can misunderstand or you haven't never really experienced either one of them, and you have an ideal of what you think it might be.
True.
That's kind of like how I feel about that though.
For me, it goes hand in hand.
Hand
Yeah.
in hand, both of them. So
If you really love a person, you're going to be loyal. If you're loyal to a person, you must on some level love them.
okay, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Then. Describe yourself using the L word, not lesbian. Describe yourself using the L
God.
word, and describe your ideal partner using the L word.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Best way to describe me is I would use if I was using me to describe me, I would say it's gonna piggyback what we said before. I'm gonna say loyalty. I'm a type of person that you can depend on. If I say my word is my bond, my word is my bond. If I believe in any type of situation or believe in you, I'm gonna ride with you to the end. If you somebody in my circle, so I would say loyalty is the best way to describe me. I would say as far as what I look for in a partner, I would want my partner to be lively. And so what I mean by lively, I would like them to have, some form of personality, be willing to try new adventurous things. I'm more laid back and reserved. And so I would rather have a person that's more not as laid back as me and willing to push me out of my comfort zone and taking me on more adventures and stuff. So I would say I would describe me as loyalty, and I want my partner to be lively.
Lively and loyalty. Okay, that's what's up. Okay, Nina, if you had to pick one, I'm sorry, using the L word, how you describe yourself, and if you had your partner and using the L word when you find somebody, or if you got somebody, not what L word you want them to have?
For me, I would probably pick ladylike. I think most people who see me think that I'm ladylike. I'm not always in that in that character of ladylike, but I think the way I present myself is ladylike.
Okay.
I think I try to be, carry myself like a lady. Unless you bring me out of character. So for the most part, I think ladylike is a good word for me.
Okay.
I think in some ways I'm lavish because I like a lot of nice things, but I might be high maintenance, but I maintain myself.
There's
There
nothing
you
wrong
have
with
it.
that, right?
I don't ask anybody to maintain that level. I have a certain level that I hold a standard that I hold myself to. So I would use those two words if it was for me.
Okay.
For somebody that I was with, it would definitely have to be loyal. I don't do disloyal people. When
Yeah.
I see how you move and you slithering,
That's a wrap.
that's exit stage left for me on any level. So definitely I ain't gonna get in no relationship with you if you're, all over the place doing all kinds of things with all kind of people. And that
Right.
doesn't just apply to, like sexually or in a relationship. How you do your business deals. Like if you're
Okay.
shady and you mistreat people and you lie to people and you misrepresent things, to me, I don't want really no parts of you.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of
That
sense.
makes perfect sense then.
So you said lavish, right? And,
I said lavish and ladylike and loyal.
Okay, loyal. Okay. What about you, G?
That's what's up. If I had to describe myself, I would say I'm very I'll say loving. I ain't gonna say loyal because I know if you, I'm a Cancer. You hurt me, I'm hurting you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's just what it is. I'm being 100 because I don't let shit go. You have to seriously apologize to me to where I feel that I can let you back in my circle like that. We just not built like that.
Right.
Like me and my brother got into it when I was a kid, and he didn't apologize to me. I was 33, and that's when I finally let the shit go.
Right.
And that's my brother. That's blood. So you know what other motherfuckers got to go through.
That
They
makes sense to
then
me.
got to chop down the tree with a butter knife type shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I hate them like that. That's something I'm working on myself.
There you go, man.
What the fuck?
At least
that
you
mean?
understood it.
That bullshit. So anyway, as my woman, I just need her to listen. That's all.
Right.
Just listen, dog. It's like I get that women drink delusional juice and spit out goofy shit.
Right.
But it's like just listen to what you saying sometime, dog. If they took a step back and say her name Kim and she step back and be Tasha, just listen to what Kim say. It'll blow your mind if you listen to him.
Yeah.
I be telling females when your female friend call you, put the phone down, just listen.
Mm-hmm.
It'll fuck you. She has nothing to talk about.
That's true.
They really don't.
Women
We
get
put up
horrible
with it
advice.
because we want sex, so we listen to the bullshit.
Depends
But you
on
take
the
sex
woman.
off the table, dudes ain't really listen to that bullshit. We really not. You really, even as your woman, a side piece, jump around, first time, you just listen like because you wait her to take her clothes off.
That's
She
deep.
don't take her clothes off, you can end the conversation right now. So all that just listen, and then like when I say common sense thing, I know everybody gonna say common sense ain't so common, but I think sometimes with women they don't listen to themselves because they know the shit sound goofy.
Right.
They know that I ain't making no sense right now, but I'm gonna say something any goddamn way.
Right.
So that's why I think that problem comes with that. But I know you use 2 L words, Nina, for yours. I don't have no other L, just those 2 right there. But I can be loyal like any other dude can be loyal. I'm not loyal like.
What do you look
Like-
for in a partner, though?
Well, I
You
look
said
for
to
one.
listen, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
That's what he said, to
yeah,
listen.
just listen. That's it. I mean, dudes don't have a long list of things we want. I never met a man that got like a long list what he want for a female to do.
I have before, but
Have you?
yeah, that's a little bit sus to me, though.
You met a dude that had a list of things he wanted a
Yeah.
female to do in order for him to marry her, or just what he wanted out
I
of
got
the woman?
dudes that's their standards, man. They got to set guidelines that they live by.
Really?
When they meet women, yeah, they want. It's some dudes that won't even date a woman if she have a certain type of weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's some dudes
That's
that
how
like
Clay
yeah,
is,
yeah.
man.
It's some dudes
Clay
you
is
have
that.
to be some form of having some positive you doing with your life. It's
Mm-hmm.
some dudes have the same standards that female have when it comes to dating. Me personally, I feel like only men can date down and only women are gonna date up. I don't think you can do both.
You said your camera sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said the view is sideways. It's hard to watch. Rotate the screen.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, but I say if you had to change something up, if I was to like replace one, I guess love making. That'll be one to change up right there. Cause if you I'm always gonna believe that if y'all having good sex, you can over you can go through anything and be all right. I'm always gonna feel that way. Okay, so we move along pretty good with these questions though, bro. So the next one was one of my questions. Like, I'm gonna change it around a little bit, Joe, because I know you put the L what's that, looting, whatever. I'm gonna ask, I ask you, Nina, why do you think black people are so afraid of Donald Trump?
I don't think that they're afraid. I get a lot of pushback. Let me show you why I get a lot of pushback from that word fear. I think that
Fearless.
so that's me. That's what I'm known as. But I don't think that it's fear. I think it's frustration, aggravation, irritation, and probably a couple other Asians. I think that, and I said this before, and some people pushed back, and I got overwhelming response of people on my page saying that I was 100% right. I think that, racism's been around, as we know, for hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's centuries.
And while I'm not a black person, I've been told many times I'm not a black person. That's correct. Even though my children, though, are black. So I have a responsibility to them as black men to familiarize myself with their plight and what they go through so that I can try to A, shield, and B, be some sort of comfort to them. Right? So going back, racism has been, I don't know why. Racism has been in existence hundreds of years, right? So, but with Trump getting in office and by him doing what's called microaggressions, I don't know if y'all are familiar with what microaggressions are. Jody, you familiar with what a microaggression is? Okay. Well, for the viewing staff, whoever doesn't know what a microaggression is, it's basically coming for somebody on the sly, like, or coming for a group of people on the sly. So people they can't say you actually did it, but everybody know what you mean. And the poster child for that is Donald Trump. I think that Donald Trump says things, incites things like the raid on the White House, things like that. If you listen to the speeches he made before that and the stuff he was saying before that, he was inciting that stuff. So, with that being said, sorry, I'm cutting. I'm cutting to the chase. I'm passionate about this particular thing, so that's why. But with him, I think he gave people permission to be brazen with it. We see there was always Karens around, but be for real. Do we see, and social media has helped that because now you can record people. But I mean the ridiculousness of the stuff you see. So I don't know that it's fear, but if I was a black man, I know we said blacks, but I can only speak from a perspective of how I feel about it affecting a black man because my children are black. Yeah. And when my son called me on the side of the road to say, "Mama, the police stopped me and they about to put me in handcuffs." I said, "For what?" He said, "I don't know, Mama." So when I got there, the police officer told me with no hesitation or reticence at all, I didn't think he should be driving this car.
Oh, wow.
What?
Oh, wow.
So what reason do you have to put my son in handcuffs? What reason do you have to even have him out of the car? Did he do anything wrong that you stopped him? Nope. We just looked in this car and saw it was a black boy. And look, he got on gang gear. Known gang gear. I said, what? He had on a t-shirt, athletic shorts. He was dressed like you are, except for the shoes. He had on socks and athletic slides.
Oh,
but that's gang
yeah.
gear. That's gang gear. Where? I've done all kind of gang work,
the
and
white
I was in
people.
federal corrections and with gang bangers.
Yeah.
And that's, so I don't know that it's fear per se, but it could be a level of fear because look at the foolishness you got to deal with. You can't even drive down the street and a police officer is arresting you because they don't think you should be driving that car. And I think that stuff is still real.
Well, yeah, that's been going on for years.
Had I not advocated for my son, they would have thought that was okay. I went all the way to the governor of the state of Nevada.
Oh, wow.
About my son. You will not disrespect my son. Especially when he hasn't done anything wrong. And so I think there may be a level of fear. Because if you can't walk down the street, drive in your car, walk in a store without somebody following you, people still doing that? Like following people? I get followed because they think I'm black out here. I'm serious. I've gotten followed. And I'm like, I'm in here with a a bag and whatever. It's just shopping. So I think it and don't be in an interracial relationship. They can't really tell I'm in an interracial relationship when I'm with a black man because they think I'm black anyway. So dodge the bullet on that one. But don't be, my son and my daughter-in-law, my ex daughter-in-law, were in an interracial relationship and they faced a lot of pushback. My grandson's blonde, and when I remember when my son told me about the first time he went to pick him up from school, it was like, Mama, these people almost wouldn't let me release. They made me show all kinds of ID and all of this kind of stuff, and the little boy saying, "Daddy, Daddy." So I think there's so many different microcosms that play into that, but I think the advent of the buffoon that is Trump, I think kind of catapulted it to another level.
Well, my take on it is the reason I think black people scared of him is because they are still lost in the mind. And when I say lost in the mind, it's like if you really do your homework, whatever age you are, think back to any president that did anything for you and think about what Donald Trump did to you. You'll come up with nothing but the fear from what used to go through with slavery and all that stuff still kind of stuck in people's head. So when Donald Trump go on those little rampages where he starts talking about racism and this and that, but we take a step back, has he stopped any money coming in and out your house? Has he came to your neighborhood and did anything? Like, you have more problems with your own people than you will with have white people ever in your life. Trust me. Regardless of what the government do to us when you get locked up and this thing, I get all that. I've been in jail. I understand how it works, but I put myself there. Nobody told me to break in a courthouse, so I did that. But it's like, when I heard people talk about him, they still sound they in the Underground Railroad or something. They be like, man, I don't know what he gonna do. We gonna be out here. The dude was in office for 4 years. What did he do wrong to you? Like, I really hate that we really stuck in that slave mindset that anytime a white dude in power that talk crazy, we just instantly get scared or some shit. And I get it, because what didn't happen over years of slavery, whatever. But it's like, at some point, man, it's like, you got to let that part go, man. I get it, dog crazy, whatever, but he hasn't did nothing. And if you think about it, he really was giving money to people, if you think about it. It's some people in New York say he's giving money to them. It's people in Baltimore. I've been hearing, like, all type of stuff starting to come out. Like, dog, like, I know people love Obama and all that, and I know they stopped a lot of stuff he's trying to do. But he wasn't passing out checks like that. That's all I know. He wasn't giving back like that. So, here we are. But it just crazy me to see how fearful people are this dude. And he does nothing for you. He don't even do nothing for broke white people. He don't even mess with them. So all the people you saw climbing the wall, those weren't rich white people climbing the wall. That was like us climbing back into the window of a club trying to fight. It was the same thing. So I find it crazy that we still scared of him, of all people in this day and age. So what you think, Joe?
I don't even think people. I think we're looking too much into it, to be honest with you. I don't think people are really scared. I think the problem with people is, especially in our community, they ride the wave. What I mean by that is, if a group of people are upset about it and it's trendy, then everybody jumping on the wave, though. That's kind of like what our community does. Anything, that's what any movement, anything that's social media trending, even with the whole Montgomery brawl.
Oh my God, bro.
A lot of us like just rocking it because so many people talking about it. That's why there's all these charities stuff like that. They don't understand the contents of what actually happened. They just doing it because it's trendy. And so that's the same with the whole Donald Trump thing. I don't think people are naturally scared of Donald Trump, and I don't think people dislike Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump is a distasteful person to the media of the world, especially within certain communities, certain sexualities. You know, a lot of people, they don't like him because of some of the stuff he say, because he keep it more real.
Yeah,
and
he
vulgar.
be honest, what he gonna do to
He
you?
been vulgar. I mean, I respect anybody that come out and speak real and vulgar, no matter if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's been your authentic self. I don't want you to just sell me a wolf tickets, and then and just tell me what I want to hear,
So
just to
you
so
shut
you
up
can
about
show,
it.
so you can shut up. You gotta think about how everybody always preach. People say they preach two things. They're ready you tell them the truth.
No, we're not in Nevada. We're in St. Louis.
Or they're ready you tell them the truth, and they're ready
But
you
that happened to me in
keep it
Nevada.
real with them at all times. So when you think about those two
In
aspects
Vegas.
of things, though, you want those type of things always kind of communicated all the time. So I think those two things people can't never keep. They can't keep real with themselves. you want the truth, but then if I tell you the truth, like, hey, I'm a cheater, or hey, I'm a liar, hey, I'm a, I don't love you, maybe you too big, whatever that case may be, you get mad because then you say, oh, well, then all these other questions, all these other emotions comes out of it because the truth hurt. But I'm keeping it authentic with you.
True.
If I tell you what's truly on my mind, then you're gonna say, well, I'm this type of person, I'm misogynistic, I'm this and that, or atheist, whatever it is. If it's something dislike towards a religion, but if that's if I'm just speaking my piece, that's my piece.
True.
That's the First Amendment, right?
Yeah,
so I think a lot of people don't understand context of stuff. Then I don't think nobody really scared of them because you should never fear no man in the world. I just don't think no man should ever have that type of vibes. I don't think people fear him of that. I just think people just don't understand things, and since you don't understand something, you tend to shut down, and when you shut down 9 times out of 10, you can associate that with a form of fear.
But that kind of go back to the title of the show about the love and loyalty, though. Like,
Yeah.
black people are loyal to, like, being bandwagons. Like, instead of setting a trend, how about I jump on this shit? It's like how you talking about the Montgomery Brawl, whatever.
Yeah.
We came together for violence.
Birmingham brawl, yeah.
Birmingham, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we came together for violence. But then when you ask people to come together for things that make sense that can help out stuff, you don't come together. So it's like we're so loyal to toxic. We're so loyal to being, the struggle to everything. Is like that's what we loyal to, and then we love it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love it, you leave it. But
That's what I said.
so now that you loyal to this bullshit with comedians bringing chairs to the stage and everybody making videos with chairs. And
Yeah, they loyal
people
to
at
the,
Walmart.
they
Now
loyal
you
to
saw
the
the Walmart's
viewership.
missing chairs. Now people buying chairs just to say I got a chair. This and that,
Just
this
like
and
when
that.
COVID hit, everybody bought up tissue for what?
Right. You can't explain why you need tissue for your ass.
Everybody bought up tissue for
Yeah.
no reason though. But it was something pushed into the media that told people to do that.
Yeah.
And so just like when they were associating the beer with Corona, and I was like. That has nothing to do with like that remotely has nothing to do with one of the two.
And that's
if
the
you know
loyalty
anything
being
about
stupid,
but
though.
see that's how people is. It's trendy. Somebody made a joke about it and it became trendy and people take that serious because a lot of people base their life off of social media and social standing. And so if anything that can draw some form of attraction to them or to their page or something they can make $1 off of by monetization, then they're going to talk about it to a trendy one. Donald Trump is a trendy person. You could talk about him any kind of way because anytime you go through any form of news with Donald Trump, go through his social media, him and the media, whatever, you're going to find something that was controversial that he said to rub a certain community the wrong way. And now you can post and talk about it, and instantly your viewer count going to go up because people like trendy things.
Say views go up talking about Donald Trump. That's the real shit though. Like I noticed that when I watch a lot of podcasts and they have a segment where they talk about entertainment stuff.
Yeah.
They may have touched on how we call each other kings and queens or how separate we are as men and women now, but they go straight to entertainment and seem like you can tell the energy on the news feed starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But when they was asking questions like we talking about Donald Trump, the shit it'll go up. But when you start talking about do you love or be loyal to somebody, But when you start talking about how Lil' Kim titty popped out at the thing, whatever, that's big news now. Let's talk about that titty.
Yeah.
That's an old woman titty at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And y'all want to talk about that, but not about this.
Yeah.
And that's why that goes back to the whole segment of this whole podcast today about the L word. I know what you're saying. I know she said that y'all don't think black people are afraid of him. I believe they are. Because, I look at it like this. When it comes to, like, personal business, when, like, you got your own business, like me, people will want me to give them a discount, but will not go on Walmart and ask for a discount. So black people are loyal to other black people to ask goofy shit, but when the white dude come around, they don't do the same energy at all. Then they want us to support black businesses, but then we raise the price on it. But then when you get them a price, they say you too high. So it's like, how does this work, bro? It's like y'all loyal to goofy shit, but not loyal to things that make sense.
Well, our community has always been easy to be preyed upon. And so when I mean by preyed upon, you can always sell a black, I hate to use it, a lot of people get pushback about this, but you can sell a black man water and tell him that it's juice. Just because at the end of the day, we the only community really don't do a lot of our research.
Not at all.
We don't take a lot of core values and factor. We let everybody else set the dynamic, and then we follow behind the dynamic, and then on top of that, we sit back and we complain, and we use stuff as crutch. We still talking about the man got us down. We still using stuff about slavery. We still using stuff about segregation. We the only culture that still use that. You think about like the Jews and all that, they still don't talk about the Holocaust.
Sure
But you know what I mean? I never walked up to a Jew and they still talk about
it. It ain't one podcast talking about it. It ain't one post.
But when you say
Facebook.
something negative about the Holocaust or anything that associated with that, then the whole world shuts you down.
Yeah,
because that's a whole different style of community that you don't want to piss off.
Yeah.
When you talk about the Black Lives Matter thing, that movement, all that, I understand at that time in the world there was something serious because we at that time we was able to see so many black lives infected.
Yeah.
In a period of time, like a couple years, I think it was like a 2 or 3 year span.
Yeah,
you had like a multiple police brutality.
Right,
But when you think about it, man, that stuff been going on for forever, dude.
Yeah, they
it
just
was just
on
now
camera
that social media became a big thing, and now that so many big businesses, Fortune 500 businesses and stuff like that, they're getting affected by stocks. And so with stocks, who buying a lot of stocks now? Us.
Yeah, that's true.
We the ones who buying a lot of stuff, and other communities are pushing stocks on us. They go into our community and they put up shop onto a lot of stuff, and they know we're gonna buy Chinese food,
Chicken,
wigs, nails,
liquor,
Jordans,
My
anything.
God.
So and all those, if you look at who are those are all different demographics. It's more than even our culture. Our own culture, the only thing you will mostly see in also our culture is a barbershop, maybe a tattoo shop.
Place.
Yeah, a bar. You don't see barbecue places like that, bro.
No, they be in the truck. They pull up on your parking lot.
They more common. They're not common like that no more, bro. You go any corner now, you see Chinese, Subway.
Yeah, you got Arabs in there doing Subway.
And who buying from them?
But honey, what you ain't gonna find a lot of Walmarts in the. You'll find them in some urban areas, but you won't find them in the hood. What people call the hood. You ain't gonna find because they're not putting their stores in there.
That's like I stayed in Chesterfield years ago, probably like 2003 or 4, something like that. And it's still up. It's still going up. But now that I'm older, now that's 20 years ago I lived there. I just noticed something. They don't even have a Family Dollar out there. They don't even have a Dollar General out there. They have none of the things that attract us out there. It's not even a car wash out there, bro. Dog, I stay right behind Maryville College. And that little area right there, it's not even a street light. It's one light that is a gang of blocks. One light gang, but out here, light, whatever. So you kind of tell like they know something that we don't know. And we used to feel like it's racist that we'll move out here with them and then they'll burn out. They knew something what was up. That's what it was. Because we really can't stay with each other. Because as soon as we get money, we burn out. That's what it is.
You're never supposed to crap where you eat at. And that's
you're supposed to what?
You never supposed to crap where you eat at.
Yeah.
And so what I mean by that is, why would you like even a dog if will take a dump somewhere and they don't even want to sit right there in front of it. Why would you want to be in that type of environment? If you're in an environment with nothing but violence, you have kids, you have a family, and you work you work hard for the things you have, why would you want to put yourself in a situation where your house can be affected by it, your kids can be affected by violence? If your kids can't go outside, I know kids don't go outside no more, but if your kids can't go out in the yard and play, then what's the whole point of you living in that community?
That's true.
Just because it's a cheaper way of rent?
Yeah.
You might as well pay a little bit more. I'd rather struggle and live in a place where my kids can be. I don't have one job. I'd rather live in a place where my daughter has a good chance to go into a better education. She can go outside. She don't have to worry about, oh, damn, can I just leave the porch? She could be a kid, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be a kid. You go outside for adventure. You don't you don't stay in the house for adventure. You go outside for adventure. So when you go outside, you're supposed to learn something new. You're supposed to see new things. You're supposed to touch the sunshine, all these type of things like that. And I think that's just kind of like what the community is, though. The community is just very uneducated. And I argued with a guy the other day. You might have been at the gym, just the guy. I argued with him the other day about a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that our community is not educated, that we don't have the resources to be educated. And I say
I disagree.
I disagree with that. I said maybe 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, back in the 80s, 90s, I got you,
bro.
But
2010 and up, bro. You can go
you
on
got
Google.
a phone.
You can go on Google.
Yeah.
You can go on YouTube for anything else. If we going to if we going to look up ratchet stuff and
Quick.
and ghetto stuff and fights
Quick.
and drama and reality and anything that has no substance, we looking that stuff up. Then we can look at anything. Just like I tell people all the time, if you need to change out a car battery or fix something in your house, it's a YouTube video showing you step by step how to do that. You can look at you don't even have to watch directions or anything, because they got stuff step by step now on YouTube, and they will show you how to do everything. You have audio books. You got so much resources out there.
Way more.
That's for free.
Yeah, for free.
Back in the day, you had to pay for this console.
Yeah.
Now this stuff is free.
Encyclopedia. I can't say the words. How you say encyclopedia? Britannica?
Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them things cost money back then.
Yeah.
Baby, we had the, what is that one called? The brown and black one, World. The World something encyclopedia.
That shit cost
And
money.
my
Them
mama
things were
paid
free.
some money,
Yeah,
baby.
they're like
Paid some
$50
money.
down there for that shit.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I say that's what they loyal to, though.
World
We are
Book, I
loyal to goofy shit.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. Like, the whole time watching that whole, bro, I get it. I appreciate him, old boy, who fell on the ground. But to parade around like that was like a move towards the future, hell no. Hell.
Man,
Man,
10
stop.
years from now, like, people still talking about 9/11, man. 10 years from now, they won't talk about that, bro.
Hell no.
That's how much
All
it
the
is
chairs,
affect the world.
they kept the receipt. They taking the chairs back. So
they'll
no.
talk about Black Lives Matter for a long time, because that's just, now it's so advocated in people's yards. I played the game the other day on Madden, bro. That's all they talk about.
Really?
Yes, Black Lives Matter.
It's on Madden? You know
It's
they
on
fuck
Madden.
people over?
Bro, on the back of the helmet, it's just the whole,
Oh, yeah, you can put all the little whatever on there.
it's on our permit. It's like part every
Really?
last 3 Maddens that came out, it says something about black racists or no
Something like
advocate for
racism
racism.
type
Yeah,
shit on
racism. Like you see on the helmets and
Hell
stuff.
no, bro. I ain't played Madden so long. I ain't know it was like that.
Yeah, I just got the new one the other day, bro, and I saw it on
He
there. I'm
says,
like,
guy, yes.
yeah.
That's what's up, man. Hey, that was a good topic right there. I like that, man.
Yeah.
So the next one is like, I forgot what's his word. It's the one about the women being a boss. The L word used. What was it?
Lamentable.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know you got a degree.
A few. I have a few. It's more than one, trust. My bank account say it's more than one.
Yeah.
Could a woman who has a lamentable kids still could consider herself a boss? I can't say ish.
I know.
Yeah.
How you worded it to me was different. I had to.
Yeah, it's all
change it
good.
up, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you? Well, for people who don't understand what lamentable mean, what does that word mean? Lamentable.
It's
what does it
like
mean?
a form of distastefulness, dislike towards something. It's
That's
another.
not. Yeah. It means more so. It means something that makes you sad. To lament something is to be sad or to what's the word when you regret. Regrettable, lamentable is a word, is the same. Those are synonyms. Anything that makes you disheartened, things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a book in the Bible called Lamentations, and that's what it is. All about something the writer is sad about or don't like. So it's all in there.
Well, that's kind of like what we just discussed the last.
It's a
topic
whole
about.
tale of woe,
Being
basically.
lamentable about our own community. How
Yep.
goofy
Yep.
shit we
That's what
doing.
you guys talked about. Being.
But when chicks call themselves a boss chick, but they kids are not the best kids in the world, can she be considered a boss chick still?
You guys, to me first.
Yes, I'll go to you first.
Well, the kids are the fruits of your labor. So, in order for you to be a boss, you have to go off of what your status is, basically, and that would be like any form of achievements you accomplish that would consider you to be a boss in your community.
True.
So I would say no, that you cannot consider yourself to be a boss if you looking at yourself overall as that. Now, if you're looking at yourself to be a boss, as a business person, then yeah, because the kids has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
If you're looking at yourself to be a boss because of how you handle your everyday life, then yeah, the kids has nothing to do with that. But if you're looking at your overall degree and you consider yourself overall, you grade yourself on the curve, then yeah, then kids would be a form, because people grade themselves on the curve. They would say their overall trajectory is that. So if that's the case, then no, because your kids is also one of your greatest accomplishments in life. And so if your kids don't fulfill a certain type of duty or whatever expectation is in society, you can look at yourself and you'll call yourself a form of a failure. Like, for example, if your kids drop out, you will instantly punish yourself for it, even though that's your kid's decision. You're not in control of another human being decision. But by you being their parent and you being the parent of that child, you're gonna instantly put their failures on you because you felt like you let them down. You didn't give them a certain type of resource. You could have did more. You could have, you know what I mean. You should have motivated them more. You would project that type of negativity and try to use that as for your kid crush. But yeah, so I think personally, no, you cannot. I don't even like using the word boss or any type of thing like that. Or guys use words like legend and all that type of stuff because obviously the people has to call you that.
That's true.
If the people don't label you that, then you can't label yourself that unless you are a business owner and you have employees underneath you. Then yeah, you're a boss. Are you somebody of some form of authority figure, a supervisor? Yeah, you somebody boss. But that's all bestowed upon the people.
Yeah.
They the one calling you that.
Yeah.
You're not calling yourself boss.
Yeah.
I'm boss. You know. They're calling you
a
boss.
boss have employees at the end of the day. If you ain't got no employees, who you bossing?
Who you bossing? So yeah, I don't think you can. Those two go hand in hand. To be honest, though.
Well, the way I look at it is stay with the L word, like you said, loyalty. Women are loyal to goofy shit like that, and they feel like with my degrees and my achievements, I'm loyal, and I'm this person, I'm that person. But you forgot one thing: you popped a few kids out, and they have to be the same as you, and they represent you. Because if your child is out here acting crazy, of course, I don't know why I just put this on my wall the other day. They always ask where the father at. If the father skipped town, went to Africa, went to Canada, jumped off a bridge, whatever, it's still up to you to raise a decent human being that can be structured enough to pay bills, be respectful of that. No, you can't tell them how to deal with women. No, you can't tell them how women's sex feel. No, you can't do nothing. But you can teach your son and daughter right from wrong, left from right, up and down, hot and cold. If you can't do that, how can you be a boss? That means nobody take you serious. And in our culture, we're loyal to goofy shit. So we sit on girls named Tasha, boss chick, Jenkins, like, come on, man, stop it, dog. You can't have that bullshit on your own because you don't have no employees. If you got employees and your son keep coming up there, he on crack or whatever, they gonna look at you sideways like, she got a crackhead son. It's like, it's just a dumb stigma that we put on ourselves, putting these words in front of us that we did not earn. You earn your nickname, like you said. Like, I'm super strong. People call me the Hulk, Shrek, Hercules, whatever. Nobody call me Tiny Tim. It just don't happen like that. So you earn that name. So I think in a situation like that, a woman who goes through that needs to be led, because you're not, you feel the way you doing things working. Basically, you drive 100 miles an hour to a brick wall. It's not gonna work, and then you run in circles and you lie to yourself because you're loyal to lying to yourself, and your feelings got to be so important that you'll take this title and run with it. And then when dudes here, we laugh at it. We point fingers and laugh at it. You just don't see us doing it. Yeah. Like I say, dudes sit there and listen to you say, yeah, I'm a boss. I did this and that. Yeah, I got this going on. I got my master. I got a triple master. I got, like, okay, that's what's up. Then why your son still in that living room right there? And he got a PlayStation. He got Joe. He trying to get Joe to play online with him right now. Like, hold on, now where the boss at? You know, I'm confused because if you had a man come in there and your son live with you and he's 27, 37 years old, a real man gonna ask, why is he still here? Because you'll ask a man who stayed with his mom, why you still live in your mama's house?
I wouldn't care though.
You wouldn't care if you went to a girl house.
That's
Hold
her dynamic.
Let's change
So
the
true,
context of the conversation. You want to be with her and marry her. Yeah. You cool with her son living with her, 27 years old.
Yeah, because because at the end of the day, you can't change. You can't tell a person how to parent. That's their parent thing. When you go in and trying to change a person's views of parenting, they start to resent you.
Now you're not telling, but I'm saying, how do you view her now?
I don't
she
view
got
her.
a grown son in there.
That don't have nothing to do with her though.
What?
That has nothing to do
if
with her.
If her child's still at home, they got nothing to do with her.
Because you got to understand certain
she
people's
didn't
dynamic.
Get him ready for the world.
You got to understand some people's dynamic. What if he did went out in the world and he might have lost his job or anything like that, and he had to come back home? You coming in that situation, you viewing it a certain kind of way because that's how you see it from your own eyes.
But what she tell he just live here. I don't see him going nowhere.
If she say, I don't think women. To be honest with you, I don't even think women like that no more.
Shit.
I think they let their kids stay there, but I'm talking about like just living there for no reason,
Joe,
just not no reason.
Right now?
I don't think people like that no more.
Joe,
though.
are you serious, right? You think it's women out here who don't have grown kids,
That's
daughters
30,
of mine,
that's 30 years old?
that's your age,
Yeah.
living with them, and they ain't got no prospects, no goals, no ambition.
No,
you think that ain't happening right now?
Not how it used to be back in the day.
Man,
Not how it used to be back in the day. Women nowadays, they kicking you out the house at 18, 19, bro. I'm being honest.
Naomi said, "Come on, Joe."
Nah, not how it used to be, bro. You talking about like the 90s. Like,
I'm not talking about the pervert
I ain't
uncle
even
who
saying
touched
my
everybody. I ain't talking about him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Sally Sue, who's 45 or 50 years old and got a grown son there.
That's like 30?
30.
Nah,
You don't think that's happening? Like,
I don't think
Oh,
it's
it's
as
happening.
I don't think it's at a high clip as it used to be though. I don't think it's at a high clip. I think it's more a lower number than what it used to be. I know a lot of more women nowadays that kick their kids out of a certain type of demographic. Like when they would say either you gonna go to school or you gonna work. And a lot of kids nowadays they either leaving between 18 to 25 because they don't like the rules of their parents' household. They want to be able to do what they want to do. They might meet them a woman, and they might do that. If anything, you see more daughters over sons staying at home because how society is now that they'll go out there when they're young, mess their credit up, get an eviction on their name. They might have dated a dude, had a baby, then they come back home to live because their parents told them to come back home. It's a lot of dynamics like that. That's why I say I think y'all a little bit more older than me, so maybe y'all have a different type of people that y'all associate with. Y'all see stuff a little bit different from y'all point of view. But the people that around like I would say 40 and down, or 30, 35 and down, a lot of them not like that. Either their kids are in school, like in college, so obviously they're not gonna be living nowhere different. That's a different dynamic. But most of them, that's the age group. It's nowhere between no more about 21 and down. A lot of them, their kids are either in school or their kids have moved out before, and certain circumstances made them come back home. Either the place they were staying at, it flooded, whatever, some excuse like that.
well, I got a question then. Would you marry her though, and say he still lived there?
If I love her, then yeah.
Well, if her daughter lived there.
If I love her, yeah, that has nothing to do. If you love
That's
somebody,
deep,
that's who you love. It don't matter what their flaws is. You love somebody over flaws and all, right or wrong. You can't love somebody perfect.
That's what men do. Women don't do
No,
that.
but you can't. Then you're contradicting yourself.
Not
then.
really. Because women don't love unconditionally, but they kids. A man will love a woman unconditionally.
I don't know. A lot of women will put their man over their kids though nowadays. A lot of women
I
will.
don't know.
A lot of women
I
will,
don't
bro.
know,
Yes, it
I
is.
don't know.
It
There's a
ain't
lot of
just
women.
nowadays
Back in the
either.
day, now this is like you trying to tell you, bro. You gotta look at the eras, bro. Back in the day, your point is valid, but nowadays,
2023. So in
Yeah.
23 years, or you talking about 80s and 90s?
I'm talking about like early 2090s. You had a point. But if you look at it nowadays, bro, it's a lot of women nowadays. They would leave their kids at home. They would go with a man. They would put kids on their mother. The father gets stuck with kids nowadays. I got friends that's no more than about 21, and they will leave their kids with the grandfather, the grandmother, the auntie.
Well, that's been going on for
all
years,
this
though.
stuff.
Oh, that's
but
been
but,
going
but
on
they
for
would go
years.
and lay up with a man.
That's
You see
been
what I'm
going
saying?
on.
That's been going on for
Yeah,
years.
but no, I'm talking about. He's talking about like women choosing, not choosing their kids over the man. I'm saying nowadays it's not like that no more. They putting their self first over their own
women?
kid. Yeah.
Well, they've been
haven't
doing that for
given
years.
my
It's just now
opinion
it's
yet.
more vocal. I got you. It's more vocal now because they have a platform to discuss it. See, back then when women discuss, they called a friend and say, "Girl, guess what?" Now they telling the world, "Girl, guess what?"
Yeah.
So that's probably what it is then.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna shift it to her. We're gonna be back with you in
Yeah,
a
we
second.
Since
though,
I
'cause-
am the woman on the panel right now,
and you got 2 kids, so.
well, my kids
do you-
are
do you consider-
extraordinary.
I bet they are. They probably the best in the world. But my question,
Whatever,
would be,
you could be sarcastic. If
But
you
I'm
want
just
to.
asking the question.
The
though.
proof is in the
so
pudding.
do you consider a woman a boss chick of her kids is like, what's the word? How you say the word?
Lamentable.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the short answer would be probably no.
Okay.
But let me start off saying I hate that word. I hate running
you hate
around
the
talking about I'm a boss. B.
Oh yeah, that.
But I get where it comes from. So it comes from being oppressed so long. There's language that you begin to tell yourself as a woman, especially a woman of color. I can't speak on black women, but I can speak on women of color because I am a woman of color. And being a woman of color and knowing how oppressive it has been coming through several generations, you pick up language that you start to tell yourself to build yourself up. And I think that's one of those things now. That's the fad things, like you guys are talking about. I agree with these things. They pick up something. You pick up something and you run with it. Like, what is a boss for real? I don't even call my supervisor my boss. Like, nobody's the boss over me but God. Like, I don't know. That's just me. I mean, maybe that's taking it to the HNL, like Dave Chappelle say. But I really don't call anybody my boss. So I don't want to be a boss over anybody. I have a friend of mine who's been a friend since about 2008, and I supervised her. She used to always call me boss lady. Up till a few years ago, I said, will you stop? I haven't been your boss in how many ever years. And I wasn't even your boss then. I was a supervisor. I just signed your time sheet so you could get paid, girl. But it was work that you did. So I have a bunch of pushback from boss. What do I consider somebody who is, I don't want to say a good woman either, but like a woman of substance, maybe is the word I want to use. I think that's where women are going with that. They just don't have always the verbiage to say the correct thing, just like lamentable. It's not things we call our children. But just saying, I think that in that case, a woman who is a woman of substance should be a woman of substance, and should be, in my mind, and in my opinion, a woman of all, that where she's covering all the areas.
You talking with her kids? Or
With
with her
all
herself?
areas of her life.
Okay.
If you're a boss, okay, let me use you guys' terminology. If you're a boss B, then you should be, that means you the boss of your life.
True.
I'm not going to use the language, not because I don't ever use the language, because that's a lie. It's because we're on platforms that would have us not use that language. So I'm obedient. So that's what that is. For those who think I'm prude or think I don't, those of you who really know me know I'll cuss you out in a minute. But anyway, I digress. So for anybody calling them, I don't think they're looking at it as the real term of a boss, like being a supervisor. It's supervising my life. So if that's the case and that's true, then you can't be quote unquote the boss of your life if you're not a person. What's up, sis? If you're not a person who's managing all parts of your life. I will say this though, to judge childbearing, my kids have been through, especially my oldest son, have been through hell. And for him to be a successful person speaks in volumes to who he is, not to who his mother is. I played a part in that, but I'm trying to tell you, this boy has fought and fought and fought and fought and fought, and maybe he got some of that fighting spirit from me and got some of that fighting from watching me overcome things, but I still think the grit that he has, shout out to my son Earl Gibson II, otherwise known as Woody, who is, he didn't get learning to be a daddy from me. He sure didn't get that because I ain't a daddy. True. But he's an excellent father. True enough, he had someone in his life who was a father role that showed him how to be a man of the house and not in the house. So to answer the question, I guess, is to say that I guess it would be a part if you look at, if you calling yourself a boss B, meaning I'm in control, because that's what bosses do, be in control, right, of my life, then yes, part of it is being a successful parent. However, I will end it saying this. You could teach your child all the best things in the world, and when you send them out there, they're going to do what the hell they want to do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's true.
You get down on your knees and you pray once you send them out the door, because what you're looking for is for some entity, whatever you call that entity. I don't care if it's karma. I don't care if it's crystals. I don't care if it's what's the thing they burning now? Sage. I don't care what it is. Or if it is God, or whatever you call God, whether God's a man, woman, child, it, a leaf, I don't care. A bird that you tie a message to on the leg, I don't care.
Yeah, I
but
got you.
whatever that thing is, you, when your kids leave the house, you going, this thing to this thing. Please, please let my children be safe. Please, please let my children make right decisions. Please, please. So even if you've taught them things, they can still go out, though. They have choices, and they can still go out and do what the hell they want to do.
When you say the percentage much lower when you in your child's life and you building structure than when you're not there, when you are in their life, but you're doing what you want to do, like you just said that they go kick it and leave the child with grandma.
let
It's
me
like, so you're
address
not
that.
building no structure with the child if you showing them that I got blue hair down to my ass. I'm at the club every weekend, but I'm gonna make sure you do your homework. You see what I'm saying?
I want her to address that real quick.
So, it's hard for me to tell because I was that mom. When I was 19 years old, and I have people on my page, and I was pregnant, I just said, okay, time to put your big girl panties on and be a parent. But not everybody has that mechanism that kicks in. And, you have children and you not necessarily ready to be children. Just because you can physically create a child doesn't make, and that's true for men too, that doesn't make you automatically parent of the year. I didn't have that luxury. Y'all have heard the Ricky Ramsey stories. It's some Rosemary stories out there too, and not speaking on the dead, but God rest in peace, Mom. But my parents were strict. When I got home and they found out first of all, Mom found out I was pregnant. Dad didn't know. My father, I only gained 14 pounds. So I just wore like a bunch of big clothes and whatever. But when he did find out that I had a baby, when I brought the baby home, it was like, I hope you don't think you finna go lay up and you going to do all of this other stuff. First of all, you're still in school. So if you're not in school or you're not at work, we need to know where you are. And you still need to be in by 7 o'clock. If you're not in this house by 7 p.m., I need to know where you at. And my daddy meant it. He locked me out at least once. I was locked out with the little chain. Remember, we had the little chains that you put across that don't matter what you did to the bottom. If that chain wasn't on, you wasn't getting through that door unless you break the door.
But look what it taught you, though.
Absolutely, but it's a different environment.
I get a different environment, but the structure still was instilled into you about don't play with me.
Yes, but I have friends who went through that same thing and still did what they want to do.
Well, see, you gotta probably dig deeper than that. Then, like,
right, I get
at
it.
At a 3-year-old, were you picking them up, babying them? At 5-year-old, did you do the same thing? At 10-year-old, were you doing the same? So you gotta look at every step along the way with kids, because kids are mind like sponges.
Yes.
So when you hear your mama say goofy shit that I'm a boss, and they go to school and say that, and say they friends with a dude who got mom and dad at home, they were like, what are you talking about? Now you mad because you got your mama's integrity and her ways. You offended because they don't get it. And so when we don't get it, they get mad. You see what I'm saying? So it's a goofy ass thing to say if your kids ain't 100. Because you could be the boss. You, like with me flipping houses, I don't care if I own every house in St. Louis. If one of my sons out here robbing banks, first thing people gonna say, why you just give him some money?
Where's his daddy
You
at?
see what I'm No, not where daddy at. Why you give him some money?
No, it's not about that though.
No, I'm just
people
if your kids got money and they stealing, they grew with money, they stealing. What you think people gonna say?
Caucasian kids do it all the
I
time.
get that, but
and
what,
they be
what do
strung
people
out on
say?
drugs.
And what do we say when we see it? They grew with money. Why they tripping? You see
I
what
don't
I'm
say
saying?
that, but I'm a
Shit.
different animal because I'm a licensed clinical social
Okay.
worker.
When we
So
see
that's
people with money
different.
do goofy shit, we all say the same thing. Like, why they act like that? They got money.
Well,
So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But I get what you're saying. When you turn 18, you walk out that door to go to SLU, Mizzou, SIU, wherever you go,
Nowhere.
it's on you. But that 18 down to the time they came out your legs is on you. But you can't say you're a boss if your kids is horrible. Because if you trash,
not
you
if
put
in
out trash in the
totality.
neighborhood.
Not if you're viewing boss, like he said, like Joe said, into the totality of your life. If you're looking at who you are at work or who you are, if you're, you like to split hairs a whole lot. But if you're splitting those hairs, then it's different. You know, if I'm really good at work, my kid's grandmother, my kid's mother, my grandkid's mother, sorry. Wonderful at school and at work. As a house person and as taking care of physically kids, she sucks.
But see, what I mean by splitting hairs,
and she's your age.
Yeah, what I mean by splitting hairs, a lot of people naturally does that. They section certain parts of their life out, and they and other don't mean nothing.
I'm talking about deeper than that. I'm talking about all these other topics that we come up with.
Yeah.
You split the hair right in half down the middle, and sometimes things are not like that. Some things are all or none. There is no gray area.
I can respect that.
So, but this part, I think there is. I agree with you that if you're calling yourself a boss B and you talking about how you are at work and how you are at school, then it could be
Viewed that way.
You know, there could be an argument for yes, you are. But for me, as a woman, I'm a woman in totality. So I look at
whole
the
full
skills
thing.
that I have at work. I look at the skills that I have at home. I look at quote unquote, and I hate this saying too, but I'm gonna use it anyway. What I bring to the table as a woman,
Right.
and what I have to bring to the table is supreme high quality.
I can understand that.
Because I got the fruit to produce it. We were talking earlier before the podcast even came on, and we were talking about proof and you know, when you hear people say a certain thing, you make a certain assumption about them, and that's the thing though that I could produce fruit on. You know, my kids haven't had it easy, but they fight and they fight. They're fighters.
Well, using your logic, if you're saying that a woman's a boss because of herself and her success, whatever, but
Thanks,
if you know you got all that boss material, why are you telling everybody then? So it
You don't
must
need to
mean you
tell
don't
it.
feel confident about something to where you have to let the world know I'm a boss. Because you know your kids is fucked up. That's just what it is.
I don't
mean,
know
they
that
call a spade a spade.
I was with you until you said, because you
It's
know
the
your
truth,
kids
though.
is messed up.
It's the truth,
But-
though. If you put some kids out here that are destructive, not helping out the community, who is that looked upon? The boss chick?
Yes, it
That's
is
all
looked
I'm
upon
saying.
as
That's
the
real
parent.
talk.
It's looked on a.
Yeah, it's
But
looked
I
on
guess
the
the
parent.
father could be looked on too if he's active.
If
you know.
either or not,
And even if
when
he's
they
not
hand
active, they're gonna
when
be
they
get
hand the
blamed
baby
on the
to
fact that he
you,
wasn't
it's
active.
on you. Understand that. They hand the baby to him, it's on him. Ain't that how it works?
I don't.
If the mama died in labor and they give the baby to the father, ain't it on him? Right?
Because the
If
mother's
they
not
give it
there.
to you because you made it through, they give it to you. So who is it on then?
See,
it's on her.
See, when we use the word boss in the community, I think the way people viewing it is a little bit different. How you viewing it? The way people view it is a form of respect. They when people call you boss, like how she was saying, she ain't been this person's supervisor in so many years, but they still using the word boss. They showing a
She
form
still
of
call me
respect.
boss lady,
It's
yep.
it's a form of respect that she looking at you as somebody of substance
That she looks up to.
looks up to, like motivation. So
But if you calling yourself that,
right.
like he said,
delusional.
that was a great point.
But
if
you-
you
that's-
have
that's
to call
self-motivation.
yourself, it's like I tell people, you know, it's like walking around saying I'm a lady. I'm a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you carry yourself like one, you won't
You
need
ain't
to
gotta
keep
say
telling
nothing.
people you want. If you say I'm a Christian, sometimes, you know, but you treat people like crap,
Yeah.
Crooked
Like-
Christian, what I call him.
or you know, or I'd rather have somebody who cuss and who do all the stuff that I do that genuinely cares for people than some preacher in the pulpit that's sleeping with everything, slanging himself everywhere, lying, being deceptive with money, stealing money from people, all of these kinds of things. Who wants that?
He done
Nobody
what his
wants
mama
that.
showed him.
Yeah, but
Nobody wants that.
but,
So
yeah.
so my thing is, if you have to, but I also understand the self-talk. See,
Yeah.
and you guys
Self-motivation.
can't understand that aspect of it because you're not a woman.
We live
When
in
you
reality.
have been oppressed, repressed, digressed, digressed, and everything else, you start wanting to project, and so you begin a self-talk, like I said earlier, and then when you go through the self-talk, then you start telling people, I'm a this, I'm a that, but that's to convince you that I am all of these things, whether you are or you aren't truly, and depending on whose definition.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is, because women of color are the most oppressed people in society, you know, we don't, in pay, none of that. We won't start that. But in no aspect, so my argument is, you know, the saying, instead of screaming louder, improve your argument. That's my argument back.
Okay.
You know, let your work show. I don't have to walk in and tell nobody I'm a boss. But guess what? They look at my children, they see I'm a boss. They look at the fact that, or whatever you want to call me, boss, or whatever word you want to use. That's the stupidest word ever, but whatever.
Pass it around. Let
I'm
the
just
women know.
saying. I'm just saying that let my work show for itself. I ain't got to say nothing.
That's true.
I have 4 degrees. I speak 3 languages. I've traveled all over the world. I mean, I'm saying it now, but I'm just saying I don't have to run around every day and go tell people that. You don't have to run around and tell people you played pro football. You don't have to tell people you own this many businesses. They just see the work.
Let me ask
So
you
just
this
let
question.
people see your work. Like even I'm gonna go by biblical here for just a second, but the word tells us that let your work shine. That they may see the work that you do and give glory to God, our Father in heaven. So it's telling you right there that you don't put the glory on yourself. You let other people do it. Because other people can see it. Other people see my kids running around the face of this earth. I done had all kind of strangers come up to me. That's your kid? Oh, my God. You two have met my youngest baby. Respectful young man. Kind-hearted, hard worker. He's in his second year. He's about to enter his second year at FAM, and he's almost done. He's 3/4 of the way done in only 1 year completed.
That's what's up.
You know, and he's a black man.
What I was gonna say is when people say them words like that, what if somebody came to you and they disrespecting you, and your work can be your resume is on the table all the time, but that person is not used to being in the same room of somebody like that, and so they trying to treat you like you a peasant or somebody like everybody else, and you might be somebody that's might be separated yourself from the flock though.
That's true.
And so maybe you have to remind that person, hey, I am a boss. Hey, I am a lady. Like, hey, I'm like this and that. Because a person, even though you might not feel that way, but if a person coming to you and they trying to run that same BS game on you that they ran on every other woman that's not as ladylike as you is, you will remind that person out of respect maybe the first time.
But I'm not going to tell him I'm a boss, though. I'll just say that's not how you come at a person of my caliber.
That might be your form of language. I'm just saying that's maybe a person reminding somebody out there, because their form of verbiage might be, I am a boss. How do you step to a woman like this? You're going to step to me correctly. That's the way.
That's right.
That's the
I've
way.
done that.
That's what I'm saying. They saying stuff like that. It's not like they glorifying to the world that I'm this boss person.
You sure?
Some people not like that. Some people are correcting people. Some people
well,
are.
I think it's a thing you keep telling yourself.
Yeah.
So, a couple of my viewers. Sherman said,
How much time we got?
Only 7 minutes.
a boss chick will uplift and inspire and make people around her better spiritually and financially. Then he also said, men born in the 60s and 70s knew when they turned 18 they had to go. These mothers now don't raise these boys to leave at 18.
That's
Mama's
true.
boys.
Told you.
Well, that ain't true for
Told
me.
you.
So
Older, bro.
that ain't true for
I
me.
know he's older, but they don't raise it like that no more, though.
That ain't true for me. So,
Yeah.
but it could be true.
Yeah.
And then my sister said, Kay Denise said, right, you have to say out loud to convince yourself. That's what I was telling you guys.
Yeah.
It's a self-talk that you start saying inside, but then you start saying it outside too, so
Right.
you can hear it, so it becomes more real.
All right, well, we say got 7 minutes. So
You do
I
a
got
high
two.
one, the high one, the low one.
Okay, the one that's overtime?
Yeah.
All right. So overtime question is, why do people lie and why they don't have to, when they don't have to lie? What's your take on it, Joe? Why do you think people lie when they don't have to?
Because people can't handle the truth in the world. Nobody can really be their true self, and so everybody's putting on a mask on whatever they feel like the person want to see of them, and so they love to tell you what you want to hear to prolong life, versus being honest with a person. Like people always say, if you be honest with me right off the bat, let me make the decision. But if I come out to you, hey, I just want to have sex with you, and you're a type of person you like.
Decision gonna be no.
The decision gonna be no, but if I suppress that and prolong whatever your deadline is, do I still get my goal?
Yeah.
There you go.
They gotta lie.
That's mine.
Now, what about you? Why do you think people lie when they don't have to?
I think we live in a society that makes people protect something. They're either protecting themselves, protecting an image, protecting, so they're always trying to protect whatever this thing is. It depends on the situation. That's why I didn't say a specific thing. Depends on the situation. And so because you're trying to protect, let's say, an image, you're going to start, well, I used to do this, and I was this, and I was that, and I'm this, and I'm that, to impress people, because
That's
at the
true,
end of the
Naomi.
day, image, I think, is really important to people.
True.
And I think on a level it should be. However, misinterpreted opinions are something else. A horse of a completely different color. And I think that most people who know me will tell you I'm true to myself, and I tell it like a TIZ all the time. I just may choose my moments of when I do that. But I think to what Joe said, people trying to, like I said, protect something. So if I tell you what you want to hear, or I tell you a certain thing, then after a while you tell it so much it becomes true to you. It becomes real. It becomes real to you. And I think people a lot of times don't want to face reality about things. So they go into a different world, a parallel
That's
universe.
insanity though to keep doing something and get the same result. That's
It
insanity.
is, but that's what happens.
I think one of the reasons people lie is because they not secure enough to tell the truth. Because you got some people will tell the truth to you, don't give a damn how you take it. You got some people lie to protect your feelings. You got some people lie because they scared of the outcome of telling the truth. So you know, I think it goes go that way. But when they say when they don't have to, I don't think that day will ever come where somebody just don't lie to you about something. I think somebody has always lied to you about something. It may not be a big lie, it may not be a small lie, but it's something they lied to you about. It could be like they say, "Well, did you like my kids?" And they came over, "Yeah, they cool." Deep down inside, I can't stand the little motherfucker. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
that's what I said. You just protect the person. I mean, that's you know, people can't take the truth, man, no matter what it is.
That's what I say. Sometimes you kind of got to lie to
The
a certain
government lie
extent,
to
though.
you, everybody.
Yeah, because you know, now some lies
That's why I
just
said
ain't
to
worth
protect
telling now.
something.
But that's a deep one right there about people lying for no reason. I think that's gonna happen forever to the end of time, whatever. Yeah. So the last question is, since we have about 4 minutes left, whatever. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see your life in the next 5 years from now? Excuse me. Start with you, Nina. Next 5 years.
In the next 5 years, both of my children will have graduated from college.
I said, see yourself, not them.
I mean, it's part of her life.
I'm getting
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I'm getting there. So for me, that's a level of success. I've worked hard for my children to be who they can be.
Yeah.
And they're working towards that. My oldest one's pretty much done, but my baby boy, you know, he's really working towards being successful. So for me, that's a measure of my success. That might not be the case for everybody, but for me, how successful my children are and happy and secure in their lives, that means something to me. So in 5 years, both of them will be done. Maybe I'll have a granddaughter in 5 years. But where I see myself, because I'm currently healing from a lot of things. I see myself as a healed individual. I see myself as an author, because I'm working on writing a book. And I see myself as a better Christian. I see myself as a better member of society. And I see myself happy, whether I'm with someone or not. My goal is not to go find a husband tomorrow. He better come find me.
You got
Okay. All right. Well, the next 5 years, I want to be retired and married and stress-free and debt-free. Almost out the debt thing out of the way. That's the easy part. Then stress-free and married. That's about it. I don't have a lot of goals. You know, I'm a dude. I just keep it real short and sweet. That's all I need. Yeah. So I'll be 51 in 5 years. I love to be retired by then, which
That's
is
a good
plan.
number to be retired by 50.
Yeah. I mean, I should be doing it now, but child support set nigga back, so you know how that go.
Yeah, I know.
A bit of baby mama stuff. All right, what about you, dog?
I think with me, I see myself, you know, just I would say more growth. Growth within everything. Self-growth, financial growth, spiritual growth, being a better father. You know, I'm not saying I'm not, but, you know, you can always be tighten some stuff up. And, you know, and the older you get, the more better and better you should be improving everything in your life. So I think growth would be the big totality for me would be just having seeing more growth within a year, like a projection of a chart going up by every year though. So that's kind of like where I'm at with mine right there though. Okay. Well, I'm glad I got all those feedbacks from y'all. Those are all the questions for today.
Let me give a couple of shout outs to Chew and Panda that are watching.
Get well soon, Chew.
Chew, we hope you get better soon, boo. Panda, thanks for tuning in and support us. We appreciate you guys.
Push a P.
And shout out to you, or you want me to go?
No real good shout out. Like I said, there's always big shout outs to, you know, the man above all the time. We want to always shout him out. We all know shout out the community. Anybody that tuned in, giving feedback. Like I always say, you could be doing anything right now but watching this live. So giving us a chance to, you know, feed you with some knowledge and stuff like that, entertain you. And even you giving us some feedback of how we can even improve our craft. And, you know, because we can always learn something as well as being the ones that's out there pushing the viewership out there as well.
That's true.
So that's all I got right there.
Check out our Facebook group.
Shout out to all the baby mamas that don't file child support that believe that they don't need no help and all that. So congrats, y'all. I'll buy y'all lunch or something one day. Next, I should have my calendar ready. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hurry up. I know we on the time thing, dog. So that'll be Thursday. I'm gonna have one of the guys that's from the blind date to call in, cause we thought about having them show up, but I know this show is streamed through Facebook,
There's so many social
TikTok,
media.
Instagram,
YouTube.
YouTube, Apple
Music,
yeah. Cause my city, my music goes kind of like deep in the Midwest, whatever. So, trying to have everybody face the day they meet us. So we're gonna have them call in. He gonna tell them about himself and whatever. And if ladies, you like what you hear, inbox me or Joe, and we'll have you call in on that Sunday, that 27th of August. We'll have you call
That's
in
a week from today.
and tell about how about yourself, whatever, what you expect from a man, whatever. And that's about all the information I get. So shout out to everybody who watching. See y'all Thursday.
All right, see you
Thank
Thursday.
you,
All right, peace out.
everybody.